Now, here's something that's tough to imagine. How much would you miss the beauties of nature, particularly living somewhere like Shropshire, if you were to lose your sight? Now, for blind people, that's obviously a situation they find themselves in, but an initiative that's taking place right here in the county is trying to help, as our reporter Sean Fogarty's been finding out.
Yes, join me later in the programme at the Venus Pool, which is just about halfway between Shrewsbury and Bridge North. I'm sat in the main hide at the pool, looking out across part of the pool. I can see a couple of dozen greylag geese, a couple of hundred Canada geese. I can see a moorhen there. Interestingly, there are half a dozen beautiful black goats away to my right. I can see some mallards. There's a buzzard riding the thermals above the trees in front of me, and swallows and house martins skimming over the lake. The bulrushes are blowing gently in the breeze. There's a couple of beautiful dragonflies there. And I'll be talking to some people who can't see any of this, and they're here to record the sounds of nature at the Venus Pool. An entirely different perspective. Join me later to find out how they get on.
BBC Radio Shropshire.
Ready for work, a quick coffee, and Eric Smith in the morning.
Your county.
Your station.
BBC Radio Shropshire.
I don't want to be a doom monger as far as the weather's concerned, but, you tell it like it is, I suppose, really, and you'll hear weather details from Ben Rich coming up in a few minutes' time on BBC Radio Shropshire. This morning it's 12 minutes past 7.
Now, ignore the weather for a moment. At this time of year, Shropshire is awash with beautiful scenery, wild blossom and birds. It's alive with wildlife, with photographers and bird watchers. But what if you're blind? How can you enjoy such stunning locations if you can't see them? Well, the Shropshire Ornithological Society, Shropshire Council, the BBC and the Sight Loss Opportunities Group, the SLOG for short, have joined forces to make sure blind people can enjoy what the rest of us take for granted. Sean Fogarty reports.
Absolutely beautiful day, and I'm at Venus Pool, which is just past Crosshouses on the Bridge North Road out of Shrewsbury, and I'm joined by Joe Penfold. Joe, what are you doing here with this very strange group of people here?
We're here today with the Sight Loss Opportunities Group. I work with Shropshire Council on a project called Shropshire Outdoors, and what we've done today is just to provide an event for the group to come and visit a site that perhaps they haven't been to before. To get physically active in the outdoors. The outdoors is a free gym, if you like, for people to enjoy. And after we've done our walk, we're going to go down to a bird hide, and we've set up some sound recording equipment there, which will help to amplify the bird song, so the participants of this group can sort of enjoy the bird song.
Describe the scene then for us.
We're looking at some. I'm no botanist, but we're looking at some chicory there. There's
lovely blue flowers.
Yeah, there's a lot of leguminous plants. So there's like some bird's foot trefoil, which is the sort of yellow plant there. I can see some poppies.
Is this flax?
So this is the chicory. I think it's a perennial herb, which is grows to about 6 foot high. So I'm just going to pass this around the group there so they can have a sort of touch and feel of that. And it's got about sort of 12 petals on it, which are kind of serrated.
Yvonne, what's your impression of that plant then?
It feels very nice. I was just wondering if it smelt, because that's how a lot of things that we can't see, but it doesn't seem to have any scent on it.
We've had Joe describe the location for us. Describe it from your point of view. How do you visualise this?
Well, because I can't see very much, because most of the stuff I'm seeing is just grey. I'm using the sounds and my smell and the touch as I was just feeling the flower. And it's wonderful at the moment. And my dog's really going mad. He's really enjoying it.
Marion Shepherd, run me through this from your point of view.
Just a feeling of space. The dog's walking along like he's a vacuum cleaner, hoovering the floor as we go because of the smells. It is just the smells, the grass scent, the birds, grasshoppers, just everything. And also, it's an absolutely gorgeous morning. I could be doing ironing.
Right, join us later in the show when we'll actually be in the hide with the top quality BBC sound recording equipment. Joe, I hope it works.
Fingers crossed, Sean.
Yes, stay with us because later in the show, Sean will have more on the Sight Loss Opportunities Group. And fingers crossed that the BBC recording equipment in that hide does work. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if it didn't?
We've all had those moments, We've all been in various situations with pieces of recording equipment that we've discovered don't work after the event, and you've got to work around it. So let's hope it does, and find out more a bit later on. I've actually been to Venus Pool, as I said earlier on, and, get a nice day, and it is absolutely gorgeous down there. Crosshouses, if you're travelling south from Shrewsbury down towards Cressidge, down through Crosshouses, little mini roundabout, go across the mini mini roundabout, maybe just about half a mile further down the road there. There's a 45-degree angle road off to the right. Go down that road and it's on the left. Venus Pool. It's reasonably well signed there. They've got some private hides for members only, but they've got some public hides as well. You can just go in and you can go and sit and watch the birds.
It doesn't matter what the weather's
wildlife.
like if you're inside.
No, exactly. If you're inside, you're quite right. It's absolutely beautiful. I can recommend it. Venus Pool at Cross Houses. And as Adam said, more on that a little bit later on The Breakfast Show today.
BBC Radio Shropshire weather.
19 minutes past 8.
Earlier in the show, we took you to Venus Pool near Cross Houses. Now, I'd recommend it. It's a really, really beautiful spot, and I'm recommending it off the recommendation of Eric Smith.
It's superb. It's absolutely gorgeous. And if you really want to see birds at close quarters, you know, kingfishers, perhaps, you know, the lovely coloured birds, beautiful green finches and blue tits and all sorts of things.
Coots, moorhens, all that
loads
kind
of
stuff.
them. Loads.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wonderful. It really is.
Superb. Several groups have combined to make sure that being blind doesn't mean you can't enjoy this marvellous bit of Shropshire and all the things that Eric's just described. Sean Fogarty met the Sight Loss Opportunities group on their latest day out.
Back at Venus Pool, we've moved on from the wildflower meadow, which was beautiful and very large, must be more than 20 acres.
Yes.
And we've moved down to the Hyde by the main part of the pool. Once again, I'm joined by Joe Penfold. Remind me who you're from, Joe?
I actually work for a charity called the Fieldfare Trust, which promotes countryside access for disabled people. But I'm actually working at the moment doing some work for Shropshire Council on a project called Shropshire Outdoors. And that's also connected with a scheme called Walking for Health, which is all about promoting the outdoor environment for people who perhaps don't have the opportunity to do so.
And who are the group you've got here today?
We're with a group today with about a dozen or so people who've come out to join us for a short walk around the site, followed by some wildlife sound recording, which obviously, if you have a visual impairment, it's a real sort of powerful experience for them.
So we're at the main Hyde overlooking the pool, and it is a beautiful spot. There are half a dozen Hebridean goats there, helping to keep the undergrowth down for the geese. 100 greylag geese, 100 Canada geese, mallards, cormorants, rooks, jackdaws. It's a very, very pretty spot. There's a moorhen there. And it's owned by the Shropshire Ornithological Society. Helen Griffiths is here from the Shropshire Ornithological Society. Fantastic use of this facility, and not your average bird watchers.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's great to be able to encourage a different group to be able to enjoy it, and they've obviously really benefited, I think, from the experience. But yes, I mean, we've owned the site for quite some time. We've had a lot of lottery money, and we've also had money from the Natural England's Environmental Stewardship Scheme. So we have a higher level stewardship agreement. So we're able to have open access. You know, we encourage access. We're pleased to be able to welcome everybody here.
Let's have a word with somebody from SLOG. So, Yvonne Richardson and Marion Shepherd grabbed the two best seats in the Hyde here. Tell me what you're doing, ladies.
We're listening to the birds. We can't see them, but we're listening through the microphones to hear what's out there.
You've both got BBC headphones on?
Yes.
They're rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah, we're only hearing it in one ear.
So what can you hear?
A lot of different types of birds, and they've been good enough to try and tell us what they are and describe to them. A lot of them are geese, Canadian geese and grey-legged geese, I think they said they were. Yeah.
Obviously, for me, as a fully sighted person, this is a very visual experience. What kind of experience is this for you?
A very audible one.
It's lovely just hearing the birds. It really is.
It's very relaxing. And there's lots of noise and smells, and it's very nice.
Tell me about SLOG then. How important is this group to you? Because you clearly do all kinds of crazy things.
Well, we come from Telford because there's not really anything in Telford for us. So we come to Shrewsbury where they've got this group and they take us out and about and do stuff that we wouldn't normally get to do.
There's a lot of things that sighted people would do that we thought we weren't going to be able to do anymore, like coming here. And it's great fun for us. It's a sense of achievement when we can still do things. We just feel as if we're back in society. We thought it might be a good idea, so you can experience what we're experiencing. If you sat here and had your eyes closed for 5 minutes.
Can I borrow the headphones then?
You can.
Oh, I see what you mean. It is very, very relaxing, isn't it?
It is. There's a feeling of space as well, which is strange when you shut in something like this, but there's a feeling of space.
You can actually hear the water lapping as well,
Yeah.
can't you? Which, with my eyes open, I didn't even notice that.
No.
And when they were coming into land, you could hear them splashing into the water.
But that one sounded like he was laughing.
Sean Fogarty enjoying a day out at Venus Pool with the Sight Loss Opportunities Group, SLOG. And they weren't lying about the BBC headphones only working in one ear from time to time as well. I can recommend Venus Pool, by the way. It is really rather good. It's down through Crosshouses, going south from Crosshouses down towards Cressidge. Go down through the village, the little mini roundabout there, straight down. And then about another half a mile or so, maybe a bit less, but you turn off to the right, angle to the right, down that road to the right then, and on your left is Venus Pool. They've got some public hides there as well. You can go at any time and go and have a look, and it really is worthwhile, I promise.
Jim Hawkins.
Weekday mornings from 9.
It's your chance to have your say about what's going on in the world.
It's great, actually, to have that interactivity with the programme.
So what should we be talking about today?
Jim Hawkins in the morning.
You find out what's going on in your own community, but you also find out what's happening on the other side of the world.
Every weekday morning from 9, we talk about the issues that matter to you.
Jim Hawkins.
Bung us an email now. You could decide the whole nature of today's show.
jim.hawkins@bbc.co.uk.
This is your show. So let me know what you think we should be talking about.
If it's interesting and it's happening, then he's going to be talking about it.
Jim Hawkins.
Weekday mornings from 9.
On BBC Radio Shropshire.